Hello, and welcome to AQ Military and Geopolitics. It began as a mission of dominance, but turned into a test of survival. An F-15E Strike Eagle, one of the most advanced multi-role fighters in the world, was tearing through the skies over southwestern Iran, when suddenly everything changed. Without warning, the cockpit erupted in flames. In seconds, 2 crew members, a pilot and a weapons systems officer, were forced to eject, plunging straight into hostile territory, deep behind enemy lines, alone and hunted. For the first time since the start of Operation Epic Fury, an American warplane had been shot down, and within minutes, Washington went into crisis mode. Inside the White House, President Donald Trump was being briefed. The stakes were immediately clear. This wasn't just a battlefield incident, it was a geopolitical flashpoint. Because on the ground, the situation was rapidly spiraling. Iranian forces, along with local militias, were flooding the crash zone. Time was running out. But then, the United States responded, not with hesitation, but with precision, speed, and absolute resolve. A high-risk combat search and rescue mission was launched. 2 HH-60 Pavehawk helicopters, escorted by an HC-130 tanker, pushed deep into Iranian airspace, flying low, fast, and under the radar. This was enemy territory, heavily monitored, unpredictable, and still very dangerous. And yet, they went in anyway. That's what makes this moment extraordinary. Despite earlier claims that Iran's air defenses had been weakened, this mission proved one thing clearly. The threat was still very real. Gunfire erupted as the rescue team approached. One of the helicopters took hits from small arms fire. Crew members were wounded. Even an A-10 Warthog, flying cover overhead, was struck and forced to withdraw. At that point, many missions would have been aborted, but not this one. Because this wasn't just a rescue, it was a promise. A commitment that the United States does not leave its people behind. Against all odds, the team pressed forward, and then, breakthrough. One of the downed airmen was located, extracted, and brought to safety. A moment of relief, but not victory, because one seat was still empty. The second crew member remained missing, somewhere in the rugged terrain of Khuzestan. Alone, armed with only a sidearm and survival gear, trying to evade capture. Iran quickly escalated the situation. Reports emerged of a $60,000 bounty for his capture or death. State media turned it into a spectacle. But behind the headlines, the reality was far more serious. If captured, that airman would become a powerful bargaining chip in an already volatile conflict. The pressure was immense. The search intensified. Drones scanned the terrain. Satellites tracked movement. Special operations forces worked around the clock, navigating one of the most dangerous environments on Earth. And then, a major breakthrough. In a dramatic update, President Donald Trump confirmed that the second crew member has now been found, rescued, alive. Against all expectations, both airmen are now back under US control, receiving medical care. Safe. This changes everything. What began as a potential disaster has become a powerful demonstration of capability, coordination, and commitment. Because, make no mistake, conducting a successful rescue mission deep inside hostile territory, under fire, against an alert enemy, is one of the most complex operations any military can attempt. And the United States just did it. This wasn't luck. This was training, technology, discipline, and an unshakable doctrine that no American is left behind. But while this moment will be seen as a success, it also raises serious questions. If Iran's air defenses were still capable of bringing down an advanced aircraft like the Strike Eagle, how much control really exists over the battlefield? And what does this mean for the future of this conflict? For now, one thing is certain. 2 American airmen went down behind enemy lines, and both came back. The world is watching, because this wasn't just a rescue. It was a message. So that's it for today.